Hi everyone, this is Lucy and it's like 6:30 in the morning, so I'm going to try and talk fairly quietly for this video. I wanted to talk a bit about how you know you're transgender, how I know I'm transgender, how you may know you're transgender. But yeah, this is all kind of like my opinion and my thoughts, and is not like all inclusive of every trans person in existence ever, obviously. Not everyone who's transgender has gender dysphoria, as they call it. This is the thing with like being trans, is it's basically all like medicalized, and you know, in the UK, to be able to get any healthcare you have to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria. In a way, it's kind of just a made up condition, because being transgender is seen as like an illness in quotation marks that is to be cured in quotation marks, and that's kind of a whole other thing. But yeah, so basically for me it's like a lot of body hair, which just makes me feel a lot of discomfort on a daily basis. The size of like body parts, like the size of your feet, size of my hands, size of, what do you even call it, the brow bone, things like that. But that's kind of more in-depth stuff. I feel like the easiest thing for me to realise that I was transgender is not like being out of focus. I feel like the easiest thing for me to realise that I was transgender, I mean, there was a certain level of the self-hatred stuff always being there. The more key thing for me was like never really feeling any strong connection to being a man in quotation marks, or being a boy, or masculinity, you know, like I talked about this in my short film A Tight Warm Hug, which you can watch on YouTube. I never felt any strong connection to masculinity. It always felt like something that was applied to me and was just very like arbitrary and kind of pointless. I never really thought of myself as being a man in quotation marks. It was something that other people applied to me. Other people told me I'm a man, and so I have to do XYZ, you know, like I have to go to the gym, I have to go to the pub and get drunk, and I mean, I never really did that, to be honest, but you know, like all of the things that society associates with men, I like attempted to do, but it always felt like I was in a theatre production, you know. It felt like I was performing masculinity, you know. And it's also like I've heard about people saying like, oh, like trans women are like brought up as boys, and so they like benefit from like masculinity and everything, and you know, like I don't think I ever benefited in quotations from masculinity. Like I never took advantage of like being perceived as a masculine person. Like I was not an asshole. I would not be drunk and like harassing women or something, you know, like. But yeah, there is a lot of shame for me within that masculine upbringing, and like reflecting back on like secondary school and you know, like the amount of horrible stuff that I saw men doing, and not like encouraged, but kind of went along with to a certain extent, you know, like not anything like cancelably bad, but I went like to the gym and things like that. Yeah, it just like never felt like it was me. It never felt like it was what I wanted to do. It felt like things I was just doing for the sake of it, to say, look guys, I'm being a masculine. And yeah, it just felt really, really pointless. I guess something else to talk about is gender and sexuality, and I think I wrote about this. I wrote for Metro like a year ago, and I think I talked about this a bit there. You know, again, this is just my personal experience, but for me, my sexuality and gender were like very linked together. When I was a teenager, I was like, I guess I'm a gay man, because I mean, yeah, it was just kind of like a guess. Like it never felt right, you know, like I kind of went between like being bi or being gay, or like I just didn't really know where I stood in my sexuality. And it was only really after I figured out that I was a trans woman that I then realised that I was lesbian. Liking women when people perceive me as a guy, it just didn't make sense in my brain, and it was because people were perceiving me as a guy that's why I felt so uncomfortable with that. So now like I'm a lesbian. Well, it's not like now I'm a lesbian, you know, it's like I was always that, but I just didn't realise that until I discovered and figured out the other things. The way that I actually figured out that I was transgender was, to be honest, mostly from like looking at like femboy memes and things like that, and realising like, oh, okay, so it is like, it's okay to like express femininity, you know, because from a young age, as someone assigned male at birth, you know, as they say, it's like so dramatically and with such a like finality to it. Like you were born this and you will always be this, and I hate that. I do not want to be that. But yeah, I kind of figured all of this out because of like femboy memes, realizing, oh, okay, so I've been told like my entire life that boys are not supposed to be feminine, boys are not supposed to wear makeup, boys are not supposed to wear dresses, skirts, eyeliner, you know, they're not supposed to like talk gay or whatever. You know, after seeing these like femboy memes, I was like, oh, maybe I should start like experimenting with my gender presentation, you know, doing things that I'd wanted to do for years, but I'm not supposed to because it's gay, or I'm not supposed to because, or it's not masculine, or I'm not supposed to because other people will judge me. And you know, like, it took so much effort to like realize you literally can wear makeup, but that was such a huge mental barrier for me. You know, that's probably why it figured out that I started doing this stuff when I was at university, because then I like wasn't around my parents and stuff. Like, thankfully my parents and, you know, like my family have been like positive, and initially people are like WTF, but you know, they've come to like accept me for who I am and stuff. So, and I know a lot of people don't have that experience, so yeah, that's like another thing that's like, you know, there's like a lot of shame within all of this. This is not like an overnight, oh, I just start wearing clothes and like dresses in public and makeup, blah blah blah. Yeah, I like a lot of the femboy memes and stuff that I looked at was like, you know, about like boys wearing like makeup and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cute, and you know, but in real life it was so hard for me to actually like get through these barriers, you know, and actually start doing the things that I wanted to do. Like, I knew I wanted to do things, but you know, some guy like looks at you or makes like a comment, or this is like a long process, like months and years, and it kind of just fucking sucks being a trans femme, to be honest. Like, yeah, I mean, again, for me, like there's like a lot of like a trauma and self-hatred and stuff in this. If you have more things that you want me to talk about, I'll very happily yap at the camera for an hour and upload that. If you have questions about this, like, leave them down in the comments. I love reading the comments. Follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Instagram, watch my films, donate to my GoFundMe for my facial feminization surgery. That would be great. See you around.